Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Mac. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links to everything discussed can be found in the description below, so let's get on with it. So guys, before we get started, don't forget that tickets for BritisonCon are still available. BritisonCon is like CitizenCon, however, it is a fan-organised event. There's loads of cool stuff planned, including a Foundry 42 panel featuring some of the devs working on Star Citizen and Squadron 42, plus a content creators panel featuring YouTuber Board Gamer, Twitch streamers Dublar Thackeray and Maya Test, plus yours truly. If you can get down, do come along and give me some shit, but not literal shit, just, you know what I mean. As well as other cool stuff, including the Viking God from Frankfurt, Brian Chambers. He is making an appearance, so it's going to be great to have a beer with him. It's happening on the 23rd of July at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Manchester Airport. Tickets are only 20 quid. The website where you can buy them from is in the description, britisoncon.uk. Get yourselves there if you can. I'd love to grab a beer with you all and just chat some shit. So this week we see the progress of the MobiGlas UI, GrimHex Outlaw Base and the Bengal carrier, plus a sneaky leaky peek at what ships we can expect down the line. For anyone who is interested in supporting me and my channel, please head over to my Patreon page, as your support really helps me get shows like this out to you. The link is in the description. So this week's Around the Verse is episode 100 part 2. It was Sandy and Erin Roberts, who is Chris Roberts' brother, as they are at Foundry 42 this week. They just mentioned about 2.5, there's some new secret things coming out. 2.5 will bring new stuff to buy, the Reliant will be flyable, plus some other surprises, is what they said. But we know now the Argo, there'll be two versions of the Argo that's going to be flyable in 2.5. The Argo is your little utility vehicle, that kind of like a snub ship because it doesn't have quantum travel, and this is what comes with the Idris, or the Idris. Anyway, from there, they did a little Foundry 42 studio tour where Erin Roberts showed us around the UK location in Manchester. They also told us about GrimHex, which is going to be located in the yellow asteroid belt. It's a completely new visual style. It looks gritty, it looks really cool, looks kind of rough around the edges. They did say there'll be plenty of Easter eggs. I'm really looking forward to getting into there. But we also saw a little audio feature of GrimHex, or GrimHex stands for Green Imperial, if you wanted to know. And this is the sort of first and second pass, so the ambience noise is ready, but that's pretty much all they've got at the moment. Now the airlock is going to be clunkier and less looked after than it is in Port Olisar. Every 1 out of 3-4 times it will shake, alarms will sound and judder, and just give you this false sense of insecurity. It won't happen every time, just every now and again, to give you that sort of sense that this is not looked after, not maintained, not clean. Now the ambient sounds are placed in 3D space, so it's coming from the actual locations where they will be coming from. So as you walk around, every step you take will trigger a different tonal change, and it'll adapt, or it'll change as you advance around the actual station itself.
Rumblier, so we get sort of a darker sound in the corners as we move through. And again, the sounds change. Sounds a little different up here. Sounds very natural. And you can come through here, it's one of the exits. You'll find if you come, and some sort of subtle metal contracting. We've got the lift here. I won't actually bother using the lift because I haven't made the sounds for it yet. So now we come out into somewhere. Here we go. We're in the main area now. I took a lot of inspiration. I was from a little corridor down here. The tonal character changes again. We've got the chasm. We should start hearing some. Yeah, there we go. You can hear that creaking there coming from this thing here, which happens randomly. And also we've got randomly triggering just in the. And then you can kind of come through and you get a sense of how that changes. As you move out through the environment.
It is looking pretty big, and I'm hoping that over time it's not just going to be a big free-for-all FPS fest. It will to start with, I'm sure, and it'll probably be me instigating a lot of that. But over time I think it will calm down, and there may be security AI there eventually. We also spoke to a programming networker who said that they are making the netcode run faster, which means the servers will have higher frame rates, but also you'll be able to get more players into a server. Ultimately, they're going to get the game servers talking to each other, which will take Star Citizen from an online game to an MMO. Very excited for that. They need to get that done as quick as possible. So after that, we looked at the MobiGlas. It's having a whole new revamp of the UI. Now, it looks incredible. Screen 1, we can see filters things like the web-based star map. It's very similar to that, but with information about the systems. You've got the overview, history, economy, which is very important when you're traveling to certain destinations. Screen 2 shows the distance between places and the ETA as well, and it says here 8 minutes, which in my opinion, I know this is still work in progress, so it's just a placeholder, but in my opinion, I think that's a good amount of time to traverse across one system itself. Because it needs to be big, it needs to be vast, and you need to feel that. So I want to be able to put my ship in autopilot and actually walk around the ship, do what I need to do, watch a bit of TV while on my ship, while it's travelling to the destination. Now, I also show the number of jumps. On the right, you can see the waypoint details and so forth. Screen 3 looks like it's the ship's cockpit UI. Not 100% sure, but it does look like a thumb down at the bottom. Screen 4 is the system view. Screen 5 shows the funds, the monthly expenses, which will likely be insurance, a lot of, your market rates, the spacesuit stats, which is really, really cool. You've got fuel, O2, pressure, integrity, battery, and CPU. All of these will have to be maintained in your spacesuit alone, not to mention your ships and your other inventory. So obviously, your fuel for EVAing, your O2 if you need to go into a zero oxygen area, the pressure of your suit as well, and the integrity kind of balance out at the same thing. So obviously, if you get a hole or a puncture in your chute, then your integrity and your pressure will decrease. Your battery, so maybe you'll be able to buy better capacity batteries to do better things. And your CPU, as we know, there will be computers that you can put, or chips that you can put into your suits with benefits and swings and roundabouts and so forth, all of which can be purchased or salvaged, so on and so forth. Very, very cool. I love that. Then you see your personal status with your heart rate, messages between friends, you've got ship status, hopefully this will tell you when someone's trying to break into your ship, and then mission details, plus so many more tabs, and that's just one screen. Screen 6 shows the star map. Screen 7 shows the home screen with all the many different tab options. Very nice. So as I said, they are doing an overhaul for the MobiGlas. It feels flat currently, and I agree, it does feel very flat. You feel unconnected. They want to make it more diegetic, so it's kind of like 3D in the blends with the environment. Now after that, we got the most amazing ship shape looking at the Bengal carrier. Now the Bengal carrier is the first ship we saw on the announcement trailer back in 2012. I'll show the comparisons to it from then and now. This is a 1 kilometer length ship. It is huge. He says you can actually fit an Idris in the hangar. You can't fly it in. It won't allow you to fly it in, but size-wise, you could fit one in there. They have 7 artists working on the Bengal at the moment, and it was kicked off at the beginning of the year. Now, the exterior has about 90-ish turrets and missile launchers. One of the turrets, I think it's the front most forward bottom turret, or the big gun on the front, is the size of an Idris. It's just a bit smaller than an Idris. So many bays in the hangar. It said it's the equivalent, in the interior size, it's equivalent to about 3 to 4 battlefield maps. That is huge. They say they are 70% of the way through, so there's about 3 months to go. He says they think they'll get it done in 3 months. This is going to be an exciting ship, and this is still not even the biggest ship there is. Anyway, most valuable post goes to Marceline Abadir for their graphite glaive drawing. Very, very cool. Back to Sandy and Ben, they say that the UK, Austin and Frankfurt video content is going to come soon. They've given them cameras so that they can keep us updated. They want to give us more of an insight from Foundry 42 as well. So we're going to see more of those studios rather than just the LA over time. RSI subscribers have access to the Sabre to fly now. So if you are interested in flying the Sabre or testing it out, get into Crusader, provided you subscribe to RSI. And I don't mean the YouTube. And the fast forward was the extended Caterpillar cut. Very, very cool. Anyway, it was such a great episode. Obviously, this is part 2 of 3 or 4 parts, so we've got more to come. I think they said next week it's going to be Austin, then the week after it'll be Frankfurt. Very excited. Tell me what your thoughts are. I would love to hear them. So on to Reverse the Verse. This week we just had Ben Lesnick and Jared Huckabee. As mentioned in Around the Verse, they say that each Around the Verse episode will be from each studio. The first episode we had was from LA. Second one we've just had now is in the UK. Next week it'll be Austin, and then the week after that, part 4, will be Frankfurt. He did say that part 4 will likely bring the new video rollout plan, which they are just sorting out and smoothing over. The monthly report is out now as well. I will be doing a separate video on that, so do keep your eyes peeled. Also, we'll get next week a lighting pass of the Green Imperial Hex Station. This is the GrimHex Station. We've seen the audio. Next week it'll be lighting. Now the next concept sale that's coming, this is very, very cool, is the Argo. It's not a big ship rollout, more of a sort of play around thing, and they said they need it for Squadron 42. It will have multiple roles. So far they have 3 variants, 2 of which are ready for offering. The Moro Tour really shows it off. I'll show that in the background. This is going to be very cool, and it's going to come with 2.5. After that, they mentioned about where's my spaceship. There was only 3 mentioned. The Karak, which has no change, it will be worked on after the Caterpillar is done. The Caterpillar is going very well, and it's looking very cool. And the Reclaimer, they say they are waiting for Squadron 42 people to free up so that they can start work on that. Now, before we get to the Q&A, they mentioned about Gamescom as well. It is the first official show floor booth they have this year. The artwork for the booth will look like an Idris Bridge, which is going to be very cool. There will be stations for streamers. They say they're bringing out their favourite live streamer and flying them to Germany. They'll be streaming the latest build of Star Citizen, which I would have thought would be 2.6. They're also going to do ship giveaways. There'll be Bar Citizen events. So if you are even in the area or you live local, pop down for the evening and you can have a drink with them all. So, on to the Q&A. Now, the first question is, will you be reselling baseball caps? And they say no. They have some Big Benny shirts coming and lanyards for conventions too, mainly for Gamescom and CitizenCon. Question after that is, does the Argo come with pod options? And they say yes, there are 3 pod options as mentioned before. 2 of them are ready. I don't know what these are. Could it be cargo? Could it be rescue? Who knows? There's no price for them yet. They only tend to give the price 1 week out from the actual sale. So the next question was about the Constellation Phoenix and when will that be flyable? They say not till the other bases are done, so that includes the Aurora and the 300. They want to get every base ship completed before they tackle the variants, which will come faster because as soon as they get the base ships done, it is just a simple case of swapping out what needs to be swapped out rather than fleshing the full ship again. Next question, will the Argo fit in the Karak? And they say they're not sure until they get both built out. I wouldn't think it would struggle too much, but we shall see. Question after that is, what is a Caterpillar's weaponry likely to be? And they say once the hangar sale comes, they'll have a better idea because then obviously they have a physical ship. Someone asked about Grabby Hands and whether there's an update for that. They said there's nothing to report. It was in concept when we saw it, but it's not the only concept for things like cargo interactions, so they can't say any more until they've fleshed it out more. Next question, will we get our Han Solo style UEE jackets? And they said if you're talking about the brown leather duster, you will get them, but they're not sure when. Will GrimHex be an armistice zone? He said he's asked the question, but they don't have an answer yet, so they will find out. From what I understood, it was an armistice zone, but I think it's worth putting it in an armistice, just for the sake of everyone killing each other. But then again, we all go to Korea anyway for FPS. The next question was about the Big Benny's surprise, and that's coming next week. After that, they asked whether the Argo will bring cargo for 2.5, and they say no, it's more of a Squadron 42 completion, so they need to get it flown ready for Squadron 42. The next question was about the Frankfurt studio and whether or not we'll get the procedural videos for the ATV Part 4, and they say probably not in Around the Verse, but it will be soon in the future. They do have something to show us though, but it's not to do with procedural planets, unfortunately. Next question, will the Idris owners get a loan at Argo? And he says that they'll look into that, they should do, so you don't need to buy an extra one if you already own the Idris, so they'll try and get that sorted. Also, keeping with the Argo theme, does it have a quantum drive? And he says no, it's just a snub type ship, so there's no quantum travel. You'll have to put it in a ship if you were to transport it anywhere else. Next question, any more starter ships? And they say yes, but they are redefining the starter ship level, so it's not likely to be the entry level ships like we see, like the Mustang or the Auroras. It may be the one up like an Avenger or something along those lines. And we did see a little sneak peek list. I'll talk about that list next, by the way. After that was about the concept sales for FPS weapons or clothing. Are there ever going to be any? And he says probably, but it's not a priority. They do hope to move everything into the game's economy, so there's going to be no more concept sales or ship sales. It's purely going to be in the game where you can buy them. Second to last question, how is the concept for the Polaris progressing? And he says it's looking very, very cool. It'll be later this year, but again, no dates ever given. And the final question is, what is the status with the Herald? And they say, wait for next week's ATV Austin edition. We should see some information there. Anyway, some really good questions there, and we got a lot of answers. Do let me know your thoughts again. Let's move on. So, over this last week, I noticed a video from Board Gamer pointing out that there was a slight leak of the ship pipeline and what ships we can expect in the sort of near future and later on down the line. It happened in ATV 100 Part 2, where the cameraman sort of giving a tour of Foundry 42 stumbled upon a whiteboard in the background with a list of things in progress. Now, as you can see from the list, it dictates sort of which studio's working on what's in concept, what's ready for sale, and starting from the top, the LA office are working on the Anvil Hurricane. Now, it says for the Hurricane, some ships avoid dangerous encounters with speed, some with stealth, and others with maneuverability. The Anvil Hurricane's philosophy is that it should be able to blast anything that gets in its way out of the sky. The Hurricane won't win any races, and its electronic signature won't let you sneak behind enemy lines, but it features a wide array of fully customizable small bore weapon hardpoints, plus the ability to customize weapon types in several ways. Hurricanes are often used by militia squadrons and private organisations seeking to add a heavy to their lineup. Now, the Hurricane was actually in a poll during the same time as the Reliant and the Dragonfly, so it is safe to say that every ship that is in a poll, which doesn't have to win, will likely get made into the game, which is nice to see because there was a lot of polls, a lot of ships that just got left behind, which people did vote for. Anyway, moving on, the UK, they are working on the Origin 600, which is the sort of elite Origin ships, you know, a step up from the 300 series. The Banu Merchantman, which I don't know when they're going to start working on it, but it's obviously in the works and it's, you know, it's going to get started soon and people are very excited for that one. And also the Aegis Eclipse. Now, I have to agree with Board Gamer, I have no idea about what this ship is, but from its name, it's likely to be a stealth ship. So ready to concept was the next part of it. The Origin 85X, which is the 890 jump, Snubcraft, the little two-seater craft, and also a Misc Racer. Now, obviously the Misc Racer is just a working title, but I'm really happy to see that there's more range in the racing craft. I'm not too bothered about racing personally, but it will add more depth to that area as well as to the lore, so it would be annoying if it was all just the same ship racing over and over again. The fact that they are creating racing ships from other manufacturers is very, very cool. Now, after that, it was in concept, and the F8 Lightning is currently in concept. This is the UEE Heavy Fighter. Now, I don't think you'll be able to buy one. This is going to be exclusively for the UEE. You may get to fly one in Squadron 42, I would have thought so. Now, it says that as the next generation of super space superiority fighter, particularly with fighting the Vandal in mind, it is a more nimble, more heavily armoured fighter craft than its F7 predecessor, discarding the second turret for a more fixed weaponry. The Lightning is designed to take out any target that is in front of it, and it said it's easy to get a target in front of it. A very cool ship, but very elite, very difficult to get hold of. Now, after that, there was a ready for sale area. So a nice surprise is the Terrapin. Again, this was during the same poll as the Reliant, the Dragonfly, and the Hurricane. And it says, a literal tough nut to crack, the Terrapin is the most heavily armoured of the base-priced spacecraft on the market. Originally designed for long-range survey missions in dangerous star systems, the Terrapin's design philosophy involves wrapping the ship in additional layers of armour and reserving a significant amount of engine power to host the largest shield generator in its class. Terrapins are popular among private miners, with an equipment mount and a small storage hold that can be converted for valuable minerals. Again, a very cool ship. Not sure about the size, not sure what sort of, I'm thinking it's going to be about the same size as the Reliant maybe. It could be slightly bigger, who knows. But this is kind of a nice little reveal. Obviously, it is kind of leaked information, but it's cool information because it's ships that we didn't even realise were in progress or even in concepting. Big thank you to Board Gamer for pointing that out to me, because I had no idea about this. Let me know your thoughts on that. Is there a particular ship you're excited for on there? I must say that the Terrapin does sound like a very, very cool ship. But yeah, tell me your thoughts. Let's move on. So also this week we had a new This Day in History post titled The Periline Pact. The Periline is the sort of do not cross line during the first contact with the Jan, where there was a bit of a Cold War going on. I haven't read it yet, but it's always interesting to hear more of the lore. There was a work in progress post for the Prospector, so for those interested in the Misc Prospector and how it was developed, do check that out. Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy now has its own spot fortnightly on Wednesdays. This week's was looking at the centre, or arguably the centre of the universe, which is the Terra system. And finally, the monthly report for June is available, but do not worry if you cannot be bothered to read it, as I shall bring you all the information later this week. If you are still to sign up to the RSI website, please use my referral code as shown on screen or in the description, and you'll receive 5,000 United Earth credits, which can be spent in the Voyager Direct store for your ships, your character, or whatever you choose. You don't have to spend anything to sign up. It's only once you pledge that I'll be granted an RP point, which will get me some little rewards in the future. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, SuperMacBrothers Ryan. For every 50 followers we get up to 2,000, I will be giving away a $10 gift card. It's a lot of fun getting to talk to you all. We have our own private Discord. Do come along and say hello. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.